EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction of the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Houston Texans. Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Kaimi Fairbairn, to get this one started. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium.
Prescott on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it second down. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Elliott, the leading rusher for the second time in his 3 NFL seasons, 1,434 yards, more than 100 better than second-place Saquon Barkley.
And the offense runs through Ezekiel Elliott in Dallas. He makes them go. And how about how he added to his pass catching this year? His numbers jumped up in a big way. So when Dak Prescott didn't have something downfield, he just dumped it out into the flat to number 21.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Intended that time for Cooper, and that'll bring up second down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. On second down, Prescott again. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And that takes us from second to third down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Prescott from the gun. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23. Well, Charles, it feels like Lamar Miller's been around the NFL forever, but he's still just going to turn 28 in April. Well, this past year, though, 973 rushing yards, good for 12th in the league.
And you know that he's capable of being a 1,000-yard runner year in and year out, save for some injuries and maybe utilizing the pass game a little bit more in Houston. 4.6 yards per carry is a healthy number, and that was his highest since 2014 when he was with the Miami Dolphins.
Sliding out of the pocket. Going deep for Hopkins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's Austin. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Well, off topic, but we'd be remiss if we didn't point out what else was happening Super Bowl weekend. The Madden 19 Club Championship, second major this season, 2 more to follow. And our winner, Pauvin, representing the Oakland Raiders. He took down the Vikings, and your favorite, Charles, IB Strafin. He had to reach for the ibuprofen after a 38-24 beatdown in the final.
Well, you know if he was representing the Oakland Raiders, the Vikings went down, and they went down hard. That's how the Raiders do it.
How about Pauvin, though, wins $100,000 for his efforts, also won Super Bowl tickets for the next day, unselfishly gave them to his father and his brother.
How about that? That's pretty cool. Congratulations, Pauvin. Way to go.
A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Prescott down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll run it with Elliott. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup from 21 yards away. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Extra point attempt to come here. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Well, CD, the NFL held its awards show the night before the Super Bowl, and as you and I had speculated the last few weeks, Patrick Mahomes, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, and for the 2nd straight season, how about Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, Donald was expected. We knew that was going to happen. Mahomes, we thought would happen. There was a...
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Play action from Miller. Now Watson rolling to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. But likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. They are going for it. Here's Watson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 13 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a third down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a third down.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Here we go, 46. 46.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And this Texans defense stands tall. Before this next drive gets going, we need to discuss the Hall of Fame inductees. There will be 8 in the 2019 class. We got Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law. Who else am I forgetting in there?
Well, how about a big guy, a lineman, Kevin Mawai, who was absolutely terrific in his career. How about Ed Reed with the Baltimore Ravens and the great job he did in the secondary there? Pat Bowlen, Gil Brandt as contributors, the owner of the Broncos and the longtime scout with the Cowboys. And I love the senior committee bringing in Johnny Robinson, the safety with Kansas City.
Tony Gonzalez was a first ballot guy. And, of course, when I hear Ty Law's name, you think, wow, he started this great Patriots dynasty that we're still living in.
You're exactly right. And the Patriots.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
26.
Now Prescott. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Zach Cunningham in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. A second down throw for Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back. But it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
26.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Cooper's got it. And they convert on third with a gain of 22. So Amari
Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school.
You go 46.
On second down, Elliott. He'll take this up just shy of the 40. Excellent display of footwork on that run. An 8-yard gain, so that gets him halfway there. Now they're left with a 3rd and 8 more. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
You go 46.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
You go 46.
2nd down, Prescott. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. While we have a second here, let's peek back to the Super Bowl. The lowest scoring Super Bowl, Charles, in history, 13-3. And it took us 53 minutes to get our first touchdown of Super Bowl 53.
Can you believe they went into the half, 3-0 New England, Stephen Gostkowski with a field goal. Then they finally tie it up with Greg Zuerlein at the end of 3 quarters of the Rams knocking one through the post. The Patriots, the 3rd team to win the year after losing a Super Bowl, the first since the Dolphins in 1972.
And, of course, the big number now for New England, 6 titles, and they are tied with the Steelers for the most ever. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Watson, off play action. Now he's flushed out left. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now Austin. A big-time return there, 40 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Now, Charles, as the Cowboys take over here, what do you think of the season that Dallas had? Yes, they get in the playoffs, but that's now 6 straight divisional round games that they've lost.
And that doesn't make you feel great as an organization. But think about this season. They started 3-5, ended up winning their division. Questions about their head coach Jason Garrett's future. They finished 7-1 to claim that 3rd NFC East title in 5 years. And then they added a playoff win over Seattle as well. So I think the future looks good for Dallas. I also like what they're building in terms of Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott on offense. But how about on defense? They got 2 of the better young linebackers in the league, and Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch. Build around them and watch for the Cowboys to be in the mix in years to come.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Prescott now 9 of 17 through the air. Not a great percentage, but it is 1st and 10.
46.
To the air again, Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Cooper was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Looking for the end zone. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. This secondary has been roasted in this 1st half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back. But that's one step in the proper direction.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jeff Swaim as the 1st half is winding down. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here. Well, the Houston Texans, as they come onto the field, obviously their offseason hit a little earlier than they wanted in January, making it to the playoffs, losing to Indianapolis. It was the first time that 2 AFC South teams had actually met in the playoffs when they squared off with the Colts.
And think about how the 2 of them began the year. Houston began 0-3. The Colts began 1-5. Yet they both finished so hot. The Colts down the stretch, 9-1 in their last 10. Houston 8-2, and end up meeting in the playoffs. And both of them ended up winning on the other team's home field. The Colts did it twice. Houston did it once.
But as you said several times, hard for Houston to be completely disappointed with the ending. They have a lot to build on for next year. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the 1st half of play. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because We often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Forced out to his left. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Being chased out left. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Caught here by Griffin. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Rolling to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Tyrone Crawford in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. 3rd and long. It's Watson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off Byron Jones. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point safely through, and that makes the score 28-0. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 33. And he'll return it to the 24-yard